In the last class, we've been seeing about different data processing techniques. Yeah. So we've seen about importing from flat file and smart data access. But smart data access, like I am not taught it properly because the system was a bit slow and we had a lot of limitations. So I would like to cover that, recapture that smart data access, and then go on with the next topic. Okay, we go deal with smart data access (SDA). By using smart data access, we can virtually access the source DB or source applications remotely. So you'll have the HANA box and you'll have the external source applications. Yeah, these will be external source applications. So what SAP has done is, as part of smart data access, SAP has given a lot of adapters, nothing but connectors. You can understand that as BW source systems or adapters. By using these adapters, you can get connected to this. You can create a connection to the source applications or source databases. Now, by using the adapter, once you create a connection to the source DB or source applications, we can consume the database artifacts or the database objects like tables, views, all this from this source applications as virtual tables. As virtual tables. By using these adapters, you basically create a connection to the source applications or database. Once you establish a connection, we can consume the database tables from these applications, okay, as remotely as virtual tables in a HANA database. And these virtual tables can be further be utilized as normal tables in HANA. Like you can use this in creating your models. You can create these virtual tables in creating calculation views as a normal, and these virtual tables can be used as a normal table. Whenever I try to view the data in this virtual table, at the runtime, it actually reads data from the source DB and give it to you. So, as part of virtual table, it only holds the metadata of the table of the source, like what is the table name, what columns does it has got, what are the data types of those columns, but no database. It only holds the metadata as part of virtual table. It holds the metadata of this source database table in HANA. Then when I try to see the content of this virtual table at the runtime, it is by using this adapter, it is going to connect to the source systems and read the data remotely from the source and give it to me. That is what virtual tables are. And this once the virtual table is created in your schema, it can be used as normal calculation view. Okay. It can be used in normal modeling how you would use any other tables. Okay. So now let's see what are the different adapters which are given by SAP to get connected with us. Now I'm not using HANA Studio. I'm using WebID. I told you we can either use WebID because WebID is a browser-based client application. HANA Studio is a desktop-based client application. Explicitly for this, I'm going to use web-based IDE. Okay. So your host name 80 and then the port instance. For me here it is instance is 90 SAP HANA ID, and you get to this here, and then I'm just logging in this system. Just log in. Now once you log in, so this is WebID Classic bus. I'm not dealing with WebID with there are two WebIDs, right? One is WebID Classic and one is WebID XS Advanced. Now I'm dealing with WebID Classic, okay. Now we have two things, editor and catalog. Now as part of this catalog, you deal with the database, and as per the editor, you deal with the package and all the modeling content. Now I would like to go with smart data access, so I get into the catalog. So as part of catalog, you get to see all the database, all the schemas and the processing. Two things you get to see. can close this. You get to see catalog folder and provisioning. As part of catalog, you will basically try to get to see all the schemas. And when I expand the schema, I get to see if there are any procedures. There are no procedures. Or if you have any some tables, you get to see tables, procedures, synonyms. If there is any, so you get to see synonyms like this, yeah, in the catalog. And in the provisioning, you get to see the remote sources which you created with the smart data access bus. Now, before I create, what I want is I would like to see what are the adapters which are given by the SAP bus. Now, if I go to SQL, I don't want to customize this. Say settings. I want to increase the font size. I don't. Okay. Hmm. What it is, there is a default. There is a view called adapters in the sys schema. So I can just run like this. Select star from adapters. So with this, you get to see what are the different adapters which is delivered by SAP. You select this and say run execute. If you pull this top result, look at this. These are the ready-made adapters, and you see this menu. You see this column is system adapter S2. These all are ready-madely given, which are called as system adapters. So I have adapters for IQ connecting to SAP IQ, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. Yeah, there are lots of stuff here. Spark SQL, Hadoop, okay, MaxDB. I've got generic ODBC driver. Now I also have HANA ODBC, which can be used for connecting to HANA databases also. Okay. So if you are happy with these adapters, which is delivered as part of SAP itself within the HANA system, you can straight away go and use it. There might be some requirement apart from this. You would like to have other adapters which are delivered by SAP as part of a data provisioning agent. Then we'll have to go with the next concept. Now let's say I would like to use HANA connection and then connect to a different HANA database. Okay. Now I have a different HANA database which is available. Um, so you don't have to worry on those. I give you, let's say there is a different HANA database which is actually in my office, which is running at this IP address. I'll tell you, which is running at this IP address. So I have a different HANA server, HANA database server, which is running at this IP address, and I would like to connect to that. And for that, I think instance is 00, and username is something best, and then for that, I have some password also. Okay. So I would like to connect to that. So how do I create a connection? So I can get to I can use the existing adapter what is there. So what I'll do, select the remote sources in the provision. So we are in the catalog folder of Web IDE. Provisioning, expand this provisioning folder. Then you get to see a subfolder called remote sources. Right click and say add new remote source. Now, so I'm going to say connection HANA DB. I'm going to connect to my HANA database. Now here, which adapter you would like to use? So I'm going to use this HANA ODBC is nothing but HANA ODBC driver, which model. These all are system adapters. You can use any of this adapter depending on the requirement. I would like to connect to HANA ODBC. Now, since this is a standard, since this standard adapter delivered by SAP, it is running on index server. There is no agent yet. Okay. Now, once I say HANA ODBC, now it start asking you all those connection parameters where you got to create the connection string. Whatever is necessary to create the connection string, it will start asking you all this. Okay. So my server is, I'm going to give the IP address of the HANA server, and the port, my instance is 00. I'm going to give this index server port. So it will be 3, and then 00 is your instance 15. That's, you got to take the port of the index server, and then it will ask for the credentials. Yes, I'm going to give the credentials for login, technical user, and username is best. And that's it. Once you give the password, just click somewhere else so that it takes it correctly, and then and then you get to say save. Once it is saved, you can also test the connection. Say click on test connection. Okay, no problem. It's not. You can test the connection. So once the connection is created, I should be able to consume those. If I one second, I'm actually connected through VPN. It's got disconnected. Now once it's created connection, let me expand. Yeah, the test connection for the box has failed because actually I'm connecting through VPN, but now it should work out. One second. This VPN got disconnected, so I connected it back. Yeah, now it starts showing you. So it is able to read the database. So the database has got a lot of schemas. I've got something like Emacs schema, my schema. There is like a schema like CDM. If you can expand, you get to see a lot of tables there. Yeah, you can expand something like Emacs. You see, these are the tables which are available from there. Okay, so I just want, let's say, from this database, I just want uh, these tables, sales tran or sales attribute or something, as to be consumed. So what I can do, right click on this and say add as what, new virtual table. So when you say new virtual table, this it's going to take the table name this way. I'm not happy with this. You can just customize the name. I'm okay with this name as VT something sales. That's fine. That's the name. I'm okay with that name. So in which schema you would like to create this virtual table? One is I would like to go to this schema SM. I just create one schema SMQI. Okay, okay, fine. So virtual table is created in this way. Now if I go to my catalog, if I go to my SMQI, I should see a virtual table called VT underscore sales with all these columns. Okay. Now when I try to see the data, now I can see open content. So when I try to open the content, it is actually showing me data from that particular schema there. So it's got some sales order number, year, customer, product, amount, currency, and all this. So it is actually reading data virtually from the source DB and then giving me this table database. Means if you want, I can show you that in that particular database. I can even open that ID, web ID for that. It will be colon. Instance is 800, so it will be 8000. SAP slash HANA slash ID. I'm opening the web ID of that particular system database. I'm opening the web ID of that particular database. So for this, it is best. So without installing any software like Studio, I'm just connecting to that server directly with web ID. And it will be a bit slow because I'm connecting through VPN. That is the being slow, so I'll try to connect through Studio because I don't know whether the port is exported or exposed or not. So I'm using the Studio. This is my that system. It's user best, and I'm connecting to that. Okay. Now I would like to. So there is in the catalogs. I should see those schemas what I see, and we. So you remember we had seen something like Emacs and all those stuff. Out of that we use CDM. Out of the CDM table, CDM I used a table called sales, right? So this was the table I used. Okay, now right click and I try to see the data here. So this was order number, year, customer, product I've seen. Let's go to the max. It was max was for 0049. If I see here also I could see max is 0049. Okay. Now let's say I insert one new record. Okay. Generate insert statement. I'm just inserting a new record. Let's say in the source database, they're inserting a new record. I'm saying document number as one. Next is year, I think, right? Year, customer, product. Year, I would like to make it as 2018. Customer is a numeric number. Customer, I'm going with triple one, double one, double one. M, I'll say material is M100. And what is the next column? Is amount and currency. Okay, amount is let's say 15,000. 1500 is fine. Then I would say INR is my currency. Then quantity is 20. Then each is EM. So like this, I'm inserting a record into this table. So now successfully the record is inserted in this source database. Now if I go to my own database and say refresh, if I say refresh, I should be able to see that new record. See, do you see this? Document number one, year 2018, customer 1111, M215, INR 20. So as soon as the data is inserted, now let me just put as document number two, 2018. Let me make this double one, two, 200. I'm fine. Inserted one more record. Now if I go here and start refreshing my virtual table, I'll start seeing the next record. See, order document like this. So this is like smart data access. You can virtually access the source DB. So as part of this virtual table, you will only have the metadata with you. Data is not brought into your HANA database. So at the runtime, when you try to see the virtual table, it remotely reads data from the source and give it to you. That is smart data access. So how did I create my virtual table was, I said remote source, then expand this connection. Then I went on to my, this, let's say I want to take this table now, table and right click, say new virtual table, right? Here it is fine because it is small schema. You're able to see all the tables and choose out of the table. Or apart from this, I can also create my virtual table by using SQL also. Now, like this, by using simple SQL statement like create table, I can also use to create my virtual table. So I'll use my SQL to create a virtual table. So create virtual table. Okay, and I'll say create virtual table. I want a virtual table in which schema? Let's say SMQI is my schema where I want, and I want virtual table name to be as VT customer. I'll say okay. Then what is my connection adapter? CONN HANA DB. So that's your adapter. So I'll say CONN HANA DB is my adapter. Don't worry about database. If you know the database is HDB, means within that system, what is my database? It is HDB. Okay. If you know that, then I can say HDB is my database. Now within that, which schema are you connecting to? CDM. And which table are you connecting to? I'm just now seeing some table. S1 customer underscore editor. That's the table I want. S1 customer underscore editor. That's what it is. Okay, next question. Like this, so I can say create my virtual table with this naming VT underscore customer and in the schema SMQ1, connecting to this adapter connection. Then within that HANA database, this is my schema name. Sorry, this is my database name, HANA tenant database if it is got. And what schema is it and what is the table name. Like this, I can go about creating this. Now select this and say run, execute this. Invalid object name, unable to retrieve CDM. Customer, spelling is wrong. See, no O here. Customer. Okay. The table was wrong. Now look at the message at the bottom. It says successfully created bus. So instead of browsing through, I can also create the virtual table with this. Now if I just refresh in SMQI, I'll start seeing another table called VT customer. I can see the content of it straight away. So I've got two records, customer C100 and 1002 and 003. If I see, you should see the same data here also. So I've seen two records, one is 2 and 3. If I insert a new record, obviously it will start inserting gets refreshed in your system. This is concept of smart data access. Okay. Okay, let me just close this out. I don't need this anymore now for now. Okay. Yes, my system is full. This is one way of doing it. Okay. Next. Okay. So next scenario is I would like to use, so now by using smart data access, you have connected to another HANA DB, the secondary HANA DB. Now next is I would like to connect to my flat file bus, or which could be text file or CSV or Excel, which is CSV or text files. Okay. Now I have this. So within my local system, I have this folder SDA, and then I have this. Don't worry. I have this file. Okay. This normal text file. With this data, I've got month. Let me make it like month name. I'll just make it short. M name I'll say, and some index sort. I'll say. I'll just make it a sequence. SEQ. Okay. So this is my file I've got. Which this is the file which I've got. Okay. Let me just take this out. Which I would like to consume as a virtual table or virtual source in my HANA database. But if I go to this catalog and go to SQL, and if I go to this, see the adapters what is delivered, select star from adapters. And if I run this, now do you have any adapter which can help you to connect to the flat file bus? Do you get to see any adapter from the standard adapters, which is system deployed adapters? Do you have any connection which can connect to a adapter which can connect to the flat file? No, we don't have anything. So then how do we handle this bus? Okay, good. Now how do we handle this is, For this, at the client system, you have to install something called SAP HANA Data Provisioning Agent. It's a small normal exe file. If you just say next, 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 it gets installed. Nothing to worry on it. So in my local system, boss, I'm working on the client system, right? In my local system, I've installed this SAP HANA Data Provisioning Agent, boss. Okay. Once that is done, I'm just saying start the agent. Just click on the start to start the agent. So agent service is now started. Once the agent is started, now I would like to use this agent and connect to my HANA database, HXE host so and so HANA, right? So click on connect to HANA. So this is my host name. My port number, actually my instance is 90. So my index server will be what 39015. If your instance number is 00, then the port will be 30015. Okay. So I'm just giving the user to connect. Okay, I've connected. No, this will start connecting to my database now. Just give it a sec time. Okay. Now it is connected to this. This is connected to this. Now I've started the agent. Then, then I would like to register the agent. Once you connected to the HANA database, now 1 second. There will be something called agents first. Because we are using HANA data processing agent. See, till what are the ready-made connectors we have, that is taken care by your index server in HANA. Okay. But when it comes to these new adapters, when it comes to the new adapters, it is basically taken care by something called agent. I'll tell you now. All the agents you can see in this agent table. Now select start from agent. I already see this agent here. Now let me just say unregister the agent. Now if I execute this command, see I don't see any agents in this table at all. So all the new adapters which are going to come from this agent is going to work on this agent. So I'll say register agent. So this is going to be my agent name and this is host. Fine. Okay. Now what are the agent you have registered? You can see this select star from agents and you can get to see this. Agent host is welcome and then this is my agent name and all those I can see this. Yeah. Okay, good. Now once this is done, now as part of this as part of this agent, data provisioning agent, you see a lot of adapters which are delivered here. You can see a lot of adapters. Okay. Like I've got ABAP adapter which can connect any ABAP system. BW adapter, I've got DB2 ECC means if you want to connect ECC which is running on DB2, I've got Excel adapter, I've got flat file adapter, I've got HANA adapter, I've got Hive which is your Hadoop and Impala again, SQL Server ECC running on MS SQL, Oracle ECC application running on Oracle, like there are a lot Teradata, then Twitter. There are a lot of adapters which are delivered as part of this agent. Now, depending on the requirement, you can leverage this adapters and configure and then leverage it for connecting to remote sources. Now, my requirement is about file, right? Flat text files. Now, I'll say file adapter. It says it is deployed, means that it is available and I need register. If you don't have your connector here, you can really use your own SDK and develop your own connector and then deploy your connector also. I can say deploy adapter and then if you have jar file already available where you written your own SDK, you can import your new own connection also. So I don't need, I just want to use this file adapter now, say register adapter. So now since the file adapter was not delivered by SAP, I am using this data processing agent, SAP HANA data processing agent, and then connecting to my HANA and registering this adapter bus. Now once this adapter is registered, now if I go to my adapters and execute, you will start seeing a new adapter. Look at this. You start seeing something called file adapter here. But it says system adapter is false. Why it is false? This is not delivered by system. This was registered from data provisioning agent bus. Okay. So all this the system ones will run on the index server, but whereas this The ones which are registered from the adapter or from the agent, data purging agent, will run on the agent bus, which you can see it on the. These will be configured or taken care by or run by agents, which is in the agent table bus, right? Good. Now let me, once I have this deployed, I can start creating a connection to connect to my remote source, right? Once I do that, now what I would like to make sure is, so my data purging agent is in my client system. I'm working on the client system. Within the client, in the F folder, I've got my in the F drive, I've got a folder called SDA, and in this I've got my text file. And this text file, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this folder. Any number of flat files, I'm going to place everything into this folder only, and then consume it. So within the local system, I've defined one respective folder which will be consumed for remote first. So how do I do that? Is I go to this data purging agent, configure, and say preferences, adapters. I would like to go configure the adapter for file adapter. Here, you can specify the path where you would like to go with. Now what I want is, I want this F drive, which has to be used. So this will be the root directory where all my files will be placed. And even along with the file, I need to place file formats also. I'll tell you, even the file formats will be in the same folder, FSDA. Now here, just say apply once and say okay. Let me see it refreshes. Configure preference. Sometimes it doesn't change. What I should do is, you give the path here, and then you got to give the permissions from your user. You go to command prompt, and then if you execute this command, who am I user, you get the system ID. Take the system ID. Copy, and then you give it there in the access token. Okay. Now it should accept. Now if I go to preferences, I should make sure that is been reflected already there. So now it is changed. Okay, good. That is sorry, I closed it. No problem, but I did not stop it, so I just closed it. This is not stopped. Okay, it is running, so I'll just only connect. Sorry, boss, I just closed it. That's okay. Agent is registered and flat file is also registered already. So it's all up and okay. Make sure the preferences are already set there. So folder path is already set. Okay, good. Now once it is set, now I would like to consume this file, right? For this file, we need to generate a configuration file. Means which tells the system saying what type of file is it, how many columns it has got, does it has got header row or not. All those details of this file is specified by the configuration file. So before I create a connection and consume this file, I need to generate a configuration file for this. For generating configuration file, your data purging agent gives me a certain batch file which can be leveraged to generate that configuration file bus. So I've installed my provisioning agent right in my system. So if I go to my C drive, this is my local system, okay, local Windows, okay, normal Windows 10, yeah. In C user SAP provisioning agent utilities, I see there is a file called create file batch format. So this batch file can be leveraged to generate a configuration file for this. So how do I do this? I have to go to this path first. So I'll go to the command prompt. So I'll say cd and paste this path. So I'm going into this path, see agent utilities. So by default it gets installed in this folder, user SAP data processing agent utilities. Now here I've got, what is this file? I've got a file of create file format. If you create, then tab. So create file format dot tab is my file. Then use a parameter file. Which file should I generate the configuration file in F drive? I've got SDA and this is the file. So go to this path. So specify this path FDA slash what is my file name? Months. Okay, months.txt is my file, and then so I need to use this batch file and the parameter file for which file is it, and I need to generate the configuration file, configuration directory. I need to specify what is the directory where the configuration file must go. I need to generate my configuration file in the same folder where my file is there. So I give the same path. So I'm saying create file format. My source file is so and so, sdmonths.txt, and the configuration directory should be the same folder. Just say enter. Now it's done. It says months.txt.cfg has been generated. Now if I go to this here, I see this configuration file which is generated. I can just open that. Okay. First line must be comment. Okay. Format is CSV text quotes. Skip number of rows. It is saying default 0. I'm saying it must skip one row as header, and then it consuming this name says, look at this. It should be what I want to see this. What is it? Month name. Let me open the configuration text. So first one is what, month column. First column should be recognized as what? It is not taking. By default, I can customize this as per my requirement. A second column should be month name. Third column should be sequence. Take this out. So like this, I can just say file save. Even it is default taking the database to the 48, I can still change it also. Okay, I'm okay. Now once we have the configuration file generated, I can create the remote sources. Now before I create a source system for flat file, I'll make sure I have the adapter. Select star from I have this adapter, flat file adapter available. I'll try to use that. Now go to provisioning, remote source, right click. I'll say what, create new source. This time it is connection flat file. Okay. Now which adapter will I use? I use file adapter. Still it is not, it is taking E only. Why? I can change it. It is what, F SDA is my path. Generally if you fix it, should take it automatically, but I will not take. Okay, then I'll have to say technical user. Okay, it will ask you for access token. Access token is this one which I have taken. System ID. Okay, just click somewhere else so that it gets refreshed. Then say save. Now done. Now create this connection bus. Now once the connection is created, you start accessing all the files which are there in that folder. See, look at this. I had a file called months, right? You just right click, you will get to see as months.txt file. Yeah. Now just right click on this file. So all the files which are available in that folder with the file and the configuration file, we start seeing them as this, as a new virtual table. I'll say VT months. I'll go in with SMQI schema. Okay. Now if I go to my catalog, SMQI tables, just refresh. So I see something called VT underscore months. If I just right click on this and say open content, it says path, all this, but look at this main data is here: month name, and sequence. Jan, Feb, March, April, June, till December. I have this data. Now let's say now after it is consumed, now I'm just adding a new record here. Say I don't have anything, but something new added something 14, so 13. If I add this new entry in the file, if I just refresh, I should start seeing that as newly added, that because that is consumed virtually. That flat file, the text file is consumed virtually. So I've got my in the own client system. Where in the client system where you have your files, you must have the data processing agent also in setup, and then configured this way for remotely accessing the flat files. Okay, that is one. Okay, good. That's one connection. Next, I have another requirement. I have an S4 HANA system. I have an S4 HANA application. So this, I'm not referring to database. I would like to connect to the application, S4 HANA application, which is in my office. Okay, I'm connected through VPN. Okay, bit slow. You have to bear. We can get disconnected. This. See, I'm connected. This is my S4 HANA system. So I would like to connect this S4 HANA application, which is running on S4 HANA means it's running on HANA database. Okay, fine. So I can create a connection for this. Now, for this, what I can do, I have other options, but I would like to use this one because we won't use it for some other purpose. There is something called HANA adapter here. There's something called HANA adapter. So I can use this HANA adapter to connect to any applications which are running on HANA database. So what I'll do first, I would like to deploy this adapter. Okay, I'll say what? Sorry, register this adapter. So now it says, look at this. Now it says yes here, right? Now if it is yes, if I go to this and if I start seeing my adapters, you see this new one called HANA adapter bus. Now I would like to leverage this HANA adapter which is running on my agent to connect to my S4 HANA application bus. So that this will enable you for real-time replication. We'll see that later. Now once that is there, I can create connections. A new remote source. I'll say connection. I'll say S4 HANA. I'm connecting to S4 HANA application, which is my HANA adapter. I would like to. So now this is not in the index server. It is running on the agent. This is the agent name. Find it. Ask me all the details. What is your host name? My host name is nothing but the system where I'm connecting to. This is my IP address. Okay. There's a port number. If you want, you can still specify the database name and explicit schema. I'm okay with that. Technical user. Just save. Now, once that connection is created, now I can start consuming the tables from S4 HANA. If I expand this S4 HANA system, it will start showing me S4 HANA application. It will be a bit slow. You have to bear. I can't do anything. It could not create user based. Okay, okay. It says there is a problem with the user. Is all fine. Technical user, I would say. So that is case sensitive. Best. It is in caps. Now it is created successfully. See, immediately once I have this connection, it starts opening me all this. 1 second. Yeah. Now I start seeing all this same, the CDS, CDM, all those tables. I can start consuming them as virtual tables. But since this is S4 HANA, it has got my SAP schema, SAP ABAP 1. I don't know. I don't know to expand this. If I expand it, will start showing me all those tables. For example, if I go to SAP ABAP 1, if I expand tables, it's going to take a lot of time to open this out. Okay, so I don't waste time there. So what I would like to access some table like VBAC. Okay, because SAP that is an SAP schema. It will have all the SAP relevant tables in it. So let's say you already been knowing that tables, right? VBAC, all those tables of SAP, KN1, Mara, Mark, all this will be in that SAP web schema. So I just want to leverage the table VBAC and then as a virtual table was okay. So instead of going through the browse where I get to see all the list of the tables, which takes a lot of time, and then take that out, I can just basically use this SQL statement create, right? Refresh system. Already system is loaded with the lot of applications. It's all I'm running in my laptop. I'm running HANA server. I'm running HANA server. Everything is in my laptop only for this demo. Because when I use Vasus, it was very slow, so I deployed HANA server in my desktop. Not found. 1 minute if it starts working, then I can create it from here also. Hmm. So instead, see, I've got browsing. I can use this S4 HANA connection. Here also I can do. So instead of browsing through, I just don't want to waste my time in browsing. So I just use this create table statement to create my virtual table. Create table. So I would like to create in SMQI schema as the virtual table for this VBAC, referring to which one connection S4 HANA adapter. I'll say CONN S4 HANA. Okay, that's my connection name. If you don't know database, leave it. Then schema, I would like to refer to SAP ABAP one schema, and from there I would like to take this table. Create it. Yes. So created successfully. Yeah, this has come. I can open SQL from here and do the same. Uh, right? I can say VT. Can we refer something like Mara? Yes, I would like to take that. So I'll take Mara, and the connection name is what? CONN HANA. Sorry, CONN S4 HANA was right. I can do this way also. Whether you can do it from here or there, it's all safe. Not done. Now if I go to SM, oh, I think this I created in Cubex was. I want in anywhere it's okay, but I am creating everything in that, right? Okay, done. Now if I go to SMQI, I should see two tables. One is Mara and one is VBAK. Now Mara is actually, sorry, I would like to see the content from this Mara table, which is actually reading it from the S4 HANA system and showing you this. Same way when I, okay, let me see VBAK. Means now it is trying to read virtually from the S4 HANA system and then showing you the content. Could be the time. Now let me go here because that could be huge content. It is reading from VBAK table from S4 HANA. Same way I can also read this Mara. Okay, like this we can read data virtually from the sources. Okay, so like this we can enable anything like connect SQL Server, lots of database, Hadoop, all the systems as smart data through virtually as through smart data access. Now we're okay with this. So as part of next topic tomorrow, we're going to go with smart data quality and integrations. Smart data quality and integration tomorrow. So even in this topic, we'll try to leverage these source systems what we created, but we'll see that. So as part of smart data quality and integration tomorrow, we're going to see about like ETL concept. So I know you would have heard about something called BODS, right? Which is ETL tool. So so the concept of BODS is EIM, Enterprise Information Management, where you can want to build the ETL tools. Same way what SAP has done is SAP has introduced the concept in SP9. SAP has introduced a concept called smart data quality integration, which can enable you for enterprise information management for like implementing ETL concepts within the HANA system. So that's what we're going to look at, like where you can uh, develop something like ETL like concepts within HANA database, within HANA system, which is what you're able to achieve with BODS. I can achieve with the smart data quality integration, like all the concept of ETL. So that's what we're going to see tomorrow, boss. Okay, fine. Thank you, boss.